You become dangerous the moment you stop begging to be understood. Most men are not defeated by their enemies. They are defeated by their hunger to be liked. They explain too much, react too quickly, and open their wounds to people who only came to learn where to strike. Listen carefully. The world does not reward the man who feels deeply. It rewards the man who thinks clearly while everyone else is drowning in emotion. This is the first law of cold power. Never let your emotions arrive before your strategy. Machiavelli understood that people do not treat you according to your heart. They treat you according to your perceived strength. If they sense weakness, they test you. If they sense desperation, they control you. If they sense that you need approval, they own you. So separate your feelings from your decisions. Separate your ego from your response. Separate your pain from your face. You may feel everything, but reveal nothing. That is not weakness. That is command. A cold man is not empty. He is contained. Comment below, I move in silence. Number 2, master the power of observation. Most people reveal themselves long before they betray themselves. The problem is that you are usually too busy talking to notice. The cold, focused man understands a truth that few ever learn. Information is power, and silence is how you collect it. While emotional people rush to express every opinion, every frustration, and every plan, you must become a student of human nature. Watch how people react when they don't get what they want. Watch how they treat those who cannot benefit them. Watch what makes them jealous, what makes them angry, and what makes them nervous. A man's weaknesses are rarely hidden. They are simply ignored by those who are not paying attention. This is why manipulators seem powerful. They are not smarter than everyone else. They are simply observing while everyone else is performing. The moment you learn to watch instead of react, you gain an advantage that cannot be seen. People will tell you exactly who they are through their patterns, their habits, and their contradictions. Listen more than you speak. Ask questions you already know the answers to. Let people believe they are leading the conversation while they unknowingly reveal their intentions. Machiavelli understood that the greatest weapon is not force, it is knowledge. When you understand someone's desires, fears, insecurities, and ambitions, you understand the strings that move them. But here is the difference between a powerful man and a manipulative fool. You do not become obsessed with controlling others. You become obsessed with understanding them so they cannot control you. That is true freedom. That is true strength. From this day forward, speak less, observe more, study everything, trust slowly, reveal little. And remember, the man who sees what others miss is rarely surprised and almost never defeated. If you understand this lesson, comment below. I see what others ignore. Number 3, control your reactions before they control you. The easiest man to defeat is the man who can be provoked. Understand this clearly. Every visible reaction you give becomes a weapon in someone else's hand. Your anger tells them where your pride is. Your jealousy tells them where your insecurity lives. Your desperation tells them what you fear losing. Your need to defend yourself tells them you can still be pulled into their game. This is why cold power begins with emotional discipline. Not because you feel nothing, but because you refuse to be controlled by what you feel. A weak man reacts. A dangerous man pauses. That pause is where your power returns. When someone insults you, do not rush to prove them wrong. When someone disrespects you, do not beg them to see your value. When someone tries to make you jealous, confused, guilty, or afraid, do not give them the satisfaction of watching you bleed in public. Let them wonder, let them guess, let them feel the wall. Machiavelli knew that appearances shape power. If you appear unstable, people will test your limits. If you appear desperate, they will raise the price of their attention. But if you appear calm, controlled, and unreadable, people become careful around you. They do not know what you are thinking. They do not know what you will do next. That uncertainty protects you. So train yourself to delay your response. Breathe before you answer. Think before you speak. Walk away before you explode. The man who cannot control his reaction cannot control his life. Every manipulator depends on your impulse. Remove the impulse, and you remove their power. From now on, your silence is not fear. Your calm is not weakness. Your restraint is not surrender. It is strategy. If this is becoming part of you, comment below. I cannot be provoked. Number 4. Become hard to read. The man who reveals everything gives his enemies a map. His desires become handles. His fears become chains. His wounds become doors. This is why you must become hard to read. Not fake, not dishonest, controlled. There is a difference. A weak man exposes his entire inner world and calls it honesty, then wonders why people use his emotions against him. A powerful man understands that privacy is protection. He does not announce every plan. He does not confess every insecurity. He does not explain every silence. He does not let temporary feelings become permanent evidence in someone else's memory. Listen closely. People cannot manipulate what they cannot measure. If they do not know what triggers you, they cannot aim accurately. If they do not know what you crave, they cannot bait you easily. If they do not know what you fear, they cannot threaten you cleanly. This is cold power. You do not need to become loud to become respected. You need to become controlled enough that people realize access to you is not guaranteed. Machiavelli understood that reputation is armor. What people believe about your strength often matters before your strength is even tested. So build the reputation of a man who does not panic, does not beg, does not explain himself to every barking mouth, and does not collapse when affection, attention, or approval is removed. Become unpredictable in the right way, not chaotic, not emotional, strategically unknown. Let people see your discipline, but not your desperation. Let them see your ambition, but not your every move. Let them see your calm, but not the full storm you survived to earn it. The modern world wants you exposed. It wants your opinions, your location, your heartbreak, your anger, your weakness, your private battles turned into public entertainment. Refuse. Keep sacred things sacred. Keep your plans behind your teeth. Keep your pain behind your posture. Keep your next move buried so deep that even those closest to you only see the result, never the preparation. A man who is too available becomes common. A man who is too readable becomes controllable. A man who is too emotional becomes predictable. And the predictable man is already half defeated. From now on, become a closed door with a calm face. Let them knock, let them wonder, let them underestimate you. Then let your results speak with the violence of truth. If you are ready to become unreadable, comment below. My silence protects my power. Number 5. Destroy the weakness of attachment. The moment someone becomes your weakness, they become your master. Understand this without emotion. Attachment is not love. Attachment is dependency wearing a beautiful mask. It is the silent agreement that another person can control your mood, your discipline, your self-respect, and your direction. This is why so many men lose their power. They do not lose it in battle. They lose it in obsession. They lose it waiting for a message. They lose it begging for loyalty from people who have already shown them betrayal. They lose it trying to prove their worth to someone who enjoys watching them bleed for approval. A cold man does not make people the center of his world. He values them, he respects them, he may even love them, but he never kneels internally. Machiavelli would tell you that dependence is dangerous because dependence makes you predictable. And once you are predictable, you are easy to control. If they know you cannot walk away, they will raise the cost of staying. If they know you fear losing them, they will use distance as punishment. If they know you crave their attention, they will feed you just enough to keep you hungry. This is not love. This is psychological captivity. So you must train yourself to detach before life forces you to detach in humiliation. Build a life so strong that no single person can collapse it. Build routines that continue even when your heart is heavy. Build purpose so deep that rejection becomes information, not destruction. Build standards so clear that disrespect does not confuse you. It simply removes people from your future. Never chase what weakens your dignity. Never worship what makes you forget yourself. Never give someone the power to make you abandon your mission. The masculine stoic path is simple, but brutal. Feel the pain, but do not become its servant. Miss them, but do not chase them. Love them, but do not lose yourself. Walk away, not because you feel nothing, but because your self-respect is stronger than your hunger. The man who can leave is the man who cannot be owned. The man who can stand alone is the man who cannot be threatened by abandonment. Remember this, Machiavellian mind. Your freedom begins where your emotional dependency ends. If this truth enters your bones, comment below. I own myself. Number 6. Make your mission stronger than your mood. A man without a mission is easy prey. He can be distracted by pleasure, controlled by attention, weakened by rejection, and redirected by anyone who offers comfort at the right moment. This is why focus is not just a productivity tool. Focus is protection. Focus is armor. Focus is the wall between your future and the people trying to pull you back into weakness. Most men fail because their mood becomes their master. They work only when they feel motivated. They train only when they feel inspired. They stay disciplined only when life is easy. That is not strength. That is emotional slavery. A cold, focused man does not ask his feelings for permission. He moves because the mission demands movement. He rises because his future is watching. He works while others complain, builds while others chase pleasure, and sharpens himself while others numb themselves with distraction. Machiavelli would tell you that fortune favors the man who prepares before the storm, not the man who cries when it arrives. Your mission must become so clear that temptation feels cheap. Your standards must become so high that laziness feels like betrayal. Your discipline must become so brutal that even pain cannot negotiate with you. Understand this. Every distraction has a price. Every wasted night, every weak habit, every emotional spiral, every person who drains your attention and gives nothing back. They are all stealing from the man you are supposed to become, and the most dangerous theft is the one you allow. So stop allowing it. Stop giving your energy to people who bring confusion. Stop feeding thoughts that make you weaker. Stop negotiating with habits that keep you ordinary. The world respects the man who is possessed by purpose, not loud purpose. Not motivational noise, quiet, deadly, consistent purpose, the kind that makes people feel your absence before they understand your power. You are not here to be entertained into weakness. You are not here to be emotionally dragged through life by every insult, temptation, memory, or rejection. You are here to become dangerous through discipline. You are here to build a mind that does not fold when comfort disappears. From now on, your mission comes first, before mood, before pleasure, before approval, before anyone who wants access to your focus without respecting your future. If this is the standard you accept, comment below. My mission controls me. Number 7. Never reward disrespect with access. The coldest transformation begins when you stop giving warm access to people who have already shown you cold intentions. Most men do not suffer because they are too kind. They suffer because they are kind without boundaries. They forgive too quickly. They explain too much. They allow someone to disrespect them, then return as if nothing happened, smiling while their dignity bleeds quietly inside. Understand this clearly. Access to you is a privilege. Your attention is a privilege. Your time, your energy, your loyalty, your presence, all of it is a privilege. And the moment you give that privilege to people who insult your peace, betray your trust, mock your ambition, or use your patience as proof that you are weak, you train them to continue. People repeat what you reward. If disrespect still gets your attention, they will disrespect you for attention. If betrayal still gets your loyalty, they will betray you without fear. If manipulation still gets your emotional reaction, they will keep pulling the same string because you keep proving it works. Machiavelli would never advise a man to announce every boundary with desperate speeches. He would tell him to make consequences visible, quietly, calmly, permanently. You do not need to scream to show power. You withdraw access. You become unavailable. You let distance speak in a language even fools understand. This is not bitterness. This is order. A man who respects himself does not keep auditioning for people who already failed the test of basic respect. He does not chase closure from those who created chaos. He does not beg loyalty from those who enjoy having options. He does not keep doors open for people who used his mercy as an entrance to wound him again. From now on, your forgiveness does not automatically include reconnection. Your calm does not mean permission. Your silence does not mean surrender. And your patience is not a lifetime contract. When someone shows you a pattern, believe the pattern. When someone crosses a line, remember the line. When someone treats your presence like it is cheap, raise the price by removing it completely. The world respects the man who can walk away without trembling. The manipulator fears the man who cannot be guilted back into the cage. If this standard is now yours, comment below. My access must be earned. Number 8. Turn pain into intelligence. Pain is not the enemy. Wasted pain is the enemy. Every betrayal, every humiliation, every rejection, every moment you were ignored, underestimated, used, or abandoned was either going to break you or educate you. The weak man turns pain into bitterness. The cold man turns pain into intelligence. He does not sit there asking why they did it. He studies what it revealed. He studies the signs he ignored. He studies the weakness inside himself that allowed too much access, too much trust, too much emotion, too early. This is how you become impossible to manipulate. You stop treating pain like a tragedy and start treating it like data. What did it teach you about people? What did it teach you about your own hunger? What did it teach you about the cost of ignoring your instincts? Machiavelli understood that survival belongs to the man who can adapt without losing his center. If someone deceived you, learn the pattern. If someone abandoned you, strengthen your independence. If someone mocked your ambition, let their doubt become fuel, but never let it become obsession. Revenge is often a distraction dressed as justice. The strongest revenge is not begging the world to watch your comeback. It is becoming so disciplined, so focused, so unreachable that the people who once had access to your weakness can no longer recognize the man standing in front of them. You do not need to prove your pain to anyone. You do not need to explain how deeply something cut you. Bleeding in public only attracts spectators, not healers. Heal in silence. Build in silence. Return with results so undeniable that even your enemies are forced to respect the transformation. The past becomes dangerous only when you keep living there. Use it, then leave it. Let the scar remind you, but never let it command you. A scar is proof that something tried to destroy you and failed. From now on, every wound becomes wisdom. Every loss becomes discipline. Every betrayal becomes sharper judgment. Every disappointment becomes colder standards. You are not becoming heartless. You are becoming harder to fool. And that is the difference between a broken man and a powerful one. If your pain will no longer weaken you, comment below. My scars made me sharper. Number 9. Build a reputation that fights before you do. Before you enter a room, your reputation has already spoken. Before you defend yourself, your patterns have already testified. Before anyone decides whether to respect you, test you, use you, or fear losing access to you, they study the version of you that your actions have created. This is why a powerful man does not live carelessly. He knows that every reaction, every broken promise, every weak return, every emotional outburst, every desperate chase, every compromise against his own standards becomes evidence. The world is always watching, even when it pretends not to care. Machiavelli understood that perception is power because people rarely deal with who you truly are. They deal with who they believe you are. If they believe you are unstable, they will provoke you. If they believe you are needy, They will withhold attention to control you. If they believe you are forgiving without consequences, they will wound you again and expect the door to stay open. But if your reputation says you are calm, disciplined, private, difficult to impress, slow to trust, and impossible to guilt into weakness, then half the battle is already won before it begins. Build that reputation deliberately. Do not tell people you are dangerous. Show them you are disciplined. Do not announce that you have changed. Let them feel the distance. Do not threaten to walk away. Walk away once, cleanly, and let the silence educate them. A man with a strong reputation does not need to constantly explain his value. His life explains it. His standards explain it. His absence explains it. His results explain it. You must become known for control, known for consistency, known for not folding under pressure, known for not begging when someone leaves, known for not returning to places where your dignity was insulted. This is not arrogance. This is architecture. You are building a fortress around your name, and once your name carries weight, people become careful with how they handle you. They understand that your loyalty is rare, your attention is earned, and your departure is final. Never let your reputation be built by your emotions. Build it with discipline. Build it with restraint. Build it with results. Become the kind of man whose silence creates tension, whose presence commands attention, and whose absence leaves a lesson. If you are building a name that cannot be touched, comment below. My reputation is my armor. Number 10. Become untouchable. The final stage is not becoming emotionless. It is becoming unavailable to control. That is what untouchable means. It means your enemies cannot provoke you into stupidity. Your past cannot drag you back into weakness. Your desires cannot be used as chains. Your loneliness cannot be rented out to anyone offering temporary attention. Your pride cannot be baited into pointless battles. You no longer move because someone insults you. You no longer chase because someone pulls away. You no longer collapse because someone misunderstands you. You no longer explain yourself to people committed to misreading you. This is the man Machiavelli would recognize as dangerous. Calm enough to wait, cold enough to walk away, focused enough to build, and disciplined enough to hide his next move until it is already done. You become impossible to defeat when you stop fighting every small war. Let fools argue. Let weak men perform. Let insecure people compete for attention. You remain still. You remain sharp. You remain strategic. Power is not noise. Power is control. It is the ability to feel rage and choose silence, feel desire and choose discipline, feel pain and choose progress, feel betrayal and choose wisdom. From this moment forward, you do not belong to your moods, your memories, your enemies, or your attachments. You belong to your mission. And when a man belongs to his mission, he becomes terrifying to those who live by distraction. They cannot pull him down because he is not looking sideways. They cannot manipulate him because he has already studied himself. They cannot defeat him because he does not need their approval to keep moving. This is your rebirth, Machiavellian mind. Not loud, not emotional, not desperate, silent, controlled, masculine, unreadable. A man with nothing to prove and everything to build. So walk differently now. Speak less. Watch more. Choose carefully. Leave cleanly. Build privately, win quietly, and when the world tries to touch your mind with fear, guilt, temptation, or disrespect, let it find nothing it can hold. If this monologue awakened the cold power inside you, comment below. I am untouchable. Like this video, subscribe to Machiavellian Mind, and turn on notifications because the next lesson is not for the weak.